The Explore 1 action camera, pictured here with only one of the accessories, but there were several accessories included, including a fantastic 32 gigabyte memory card, which in and of itself has value. The Explore 1 action camera, this is my review. What can I say about this camera? It has this really cool floating handle as an accessory, which we attached. Very convenient. It has a tripod, not pictured here, but that's nice. It had the memory card, the memory card, which normally isn't included, but here it's some kind of bundle, so we have the memory card included, 32 gigabytes, which is a lot. So accessories were fantastic for the price we bought it for, around $25. Now, as for the actual camera itself, unfortunately, there's two things that really prevent me from liking this camera. Again, just keep in mind that when I make these reviews, this is my own personal experience. This isn't to tell you what you should expect or what your experience is going to be like. This is my own experience with this particular device that we purchased. So I'm not trying to say that this will apply to every camera that's sold, all these cameras that other people have. So here's the problem that I had with this camera, despite the fact that there were some great accessories included and the memory card was included, which you can of course use on other cameras, which is what I plan to do. So I took out the memory card here. But anyways, here's the camera, the Explore 1 action camera. I was ready to really like this camera after seeing accessories. However, there's two things that I didn't really like about this device. And the first one is that, let me just start with the easy to explain thing. So the first thing is that the video quality isn't very good. And I mean, for $25, which included the tripod, this floating handle, and the memory card, really it's very, 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 very cheap device. Quality wasn't very good. I mean, it goes all the way up to 4K supposedly, but the video quality is acceptable if you're just looking to just experiment with a camera and see what you might use it for and how you might record videos and what kinds of videos you'd like to record. But really, the quality is not very good. It's a little bit blurry if you were to actually look closely at the pixels or the quality of the video. So that's it. I mean, it's not really a big deal. I can overlook that because it did have the memory card. It just had the accessories we can use with other cameras. So video quality was just okay. Photo quality was just not very good. But here's the problem here. The problem here is, again, that's why I wanted to make that. Wanted to say in the beginning of this video, this is only about my experience. Unfortunately, this whole camera didn't work, even though there was a bundle with a USB cable, a memory card, the camera, the battery. Everything should be included so that we're all set up and ready to go. But the problem here was that, I'm sorry that it took so long to explain, but the problem here is that the camera essentially did not work. When we plugged in the USB cable, so we connected the USB cable to the computer, and the USB cable, one end goes here, one end goes to the USB port in the computer, so you can transfer photos and videos from your camera to your computer. The USB cable, the device wasn't really recognizing itself. How do I explain this? I was not able to transfer any files via the USB cable when connecting the USB cable to the camera and to the computer. I was not able to transfer the footage. So the footage is being stored on the memory card. Everything was fine. I recorded the videos. They're on the camera. I just don't know if there's like an app with the Wi-Fi that we can do it instead, but this is really about the USB cable, the actual cable that connects the camera to the computer. For a split second, it would recognize that there are files on this camera, and it would start to open the folder on the camera so that we can transfer the files, but that was like a millisecond, and then it would stop. I would hear the noise on the computer, so indicating it was connected. It could charge, but it did not seem to recognize that it was not able to actually open the folder on the camera so that I can drag and drop the files on the computer. I was not able to transfer the files from the camera to the computer using the USB cable, which for me is a big drawback because I didn't want to use the app, I didn't want to use the Wi-Fi, I didn't want to figure that out. What you're supposed to do is you plug in the USB cable to the computer, connect to the camera, the computer, and one end goes to the camera, one end goes to the computer, and then you have the option to say, would you like to charge your device or would you like to transfer files? I wasn't given that option. I could charge it but not transfer the files, and unfortunately that was the problem. I'm not going to show what happened, but essentially when I connected the cable to from the camera to the computer, I was not able to transfer the files. I wasn't even given the option to transfer files, which means that I did try a different USB cable. I have lots of them. Didn't work either. It wasn't the USB cable. It's something wrong with this particular device. Not able to transfer files using the USB cable. And so the workaround I ended up doing is I took the memory card, which had the footage, I put it in a different camera, connected that camera to the computer, and then from there I was able to take those files when the memory card was in a different camera and then transfer them to my computer. But that whole process wasn't really worth it for me. I didn't want to just have to record something here, take the memory card out, put it in a different camera. That's not the purpose. The purpose is it's supposed to be user-friendly, easy to use. Maybe it's possible to transfer files using the Wi-Fi or the app or whatever. But I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to connect the cable to the camera, connect the cable to the computer, and transfer it that way. But I wasn't given the option. I think there was an error, because for a split second it would recognize the device. The computer would recognize this device as a device that has files we can transfer, and then it would stop recognizing it after about a millisecond. So that's the truth. It did work. The camera did work. The camera did hold the files. Unfortunately, via the USB cable, I could not take those files from the camera and transfer it to the computer. A defect. Definitely a defect, because the computer was recognizing it for a split second and it would stop. So not to say that that's going to happen on your device, just happened with my device. I'm not really upset because we only paid around $25, and it did have some nice accessories and a memory card not pictured here. 32 gigabyte micro SD memory card, which was included. So I'm very happy with the accessories. Not a lot of money, so I'm not disappointed, but I'm just letting you know, on my particular device, while the device did work, I was not able to transfer the files via the USB cable. I did not try the app, or if there's some kind of Wi-Fi that lets us do that. That's my review. The video quality was not very good, in my opinion. Photo quality is not very good, in my opinion. But again, for the amount of money we paid, it's really hard for me to complain, because we did get some nice accessories together, including the micro SD memory card. Thanks for watching this video. Sample videos recorded with this camera will follow in the next part of this video. 1080p video test, 60 frames per second. .1080p video test, 60 frames per second. .1080p video test, 60 frames per second. Budget-friendly action camera purchased on Amazon. 1080p video test, 60 frames per second. .1080p video test, 60 frames per second. Budget-friendly action camera purchased on Amazon. 1080p video test, 60 frames per second. .1080p video test, 60 frames per second. .1080p video test, 60 frames per second. 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second. Budget-friendly action camera purchased on Amazon. 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second. 2.7K video test, 30 frames per second. Budget-friendly action camera purchased on Amazon. .7K video test, 30 frames per second. .4K video test, 30 frames per second. 4K video test, 30 frames per second. Budget-friendly action camera purchased on Amazon. .4K video test, 30 frames per second. 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 .4K video test, 30 frames per second.